At least 20 African leaders are expected here today at the AU Summit, which form the membership of the Nepad Heads of State and Government Orientation Committee, to discuss, among other things, the Agenda 2063, the financing of Africa's regional infrastructure, and of course the big theme for this year's summit, which is the empowerment of African women. The new Partnership for Africa's Development is an economic development program developed by the AU with the aim of speeding up the economic emancipation of Africa. This is the 33rd session of Heads of State and Government to provide guidance on a wide range of issues, including Africa's developmental goals, climate change and regional integration.
So looking in the next 50 years to say what sort of Africa do you want to see is extremely important, because that helps you down to define exactly where you want the continent to be, and that will help you to say what are the things that you have to do in order to be in that position. If you don't have that kind of dream or that kind of vision, then you will just be wandering on a day-to-day basis without necessarily having a roadmap or a vision that leads you where you want to go. But having said that, of course, 50 years is a long time. But the beauty of this Africa we want and Africa 2063 agenda is that it has 10-year plans. It's divided into 5 10-year plans.
South African President Jacob Zuma gave his assessment of the gains made by the organ, which has been in existence for more than 10 years.
The continent is now reaping the benefits of responsible macroeconomic management and deepening integration into the world economy. We continue to celebrate the fact that a number of the fastest growing economies in the world are in Africa.
AU Chair and Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe warned that Africa will need to be more vigilant about the export of its raw materials in order to succeed in the war against poverty.
I would like to call upon Nepad, the regional economic communities and other African institutions to come up with viable strategies and expedite the industrialization of the continent to curtail and reverse the export of unprocessed resources.
Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari was represented at the session by Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs, who said Nigeria, as a founding member of Nepad, is looking forward to closer cooperation with the body to fight terrorism.
President Buhari has not made any secret of his commitment to pursue the fight against insurgency in the northeast of Nigeria as his #1 priority. And in the communique that was read at the Abuja summit of Thursday, there was the recognition that the African Union will play a supportive role in mobilizing support globally and also within the continent to bring its capacity and expertise to bear on what is being done by the Lake Chad Basin Commission countries.
The Heads of State Government Committee also deliberated on a key theme of the summit, women empowerment. But the women in Africa say its leaders should learn to trust them with the next level of Africa's development.
So I was very happy that the heads of state are very supportive, and I want to assure the world that if they want their money to be taken care of and to be used for what it is meant, they must give it into the hands of the African women. We mean business, we are trained for it, and we are ready to turn Africa around.
The 33rd session of the Nepad Heads of State and Government Orientation Committee was held mostly behind closed doors, but from the conversations we've had with those that attended the meeting, it is quite clear that Africa's heads of state are firm in their commitment towards the development agenda of Africa, at least for the next 10 years. Binus King, Go Tell Africa at the AU Summit in Johannesburg.